Kim Kardashian's feud with Beyoncé is still one of the most epic feuds in Hollywood, mostly because of how silent and one-sided it is. Kim has spent years chasing Beyoncé, but Beyoncé simply doesn't care, and Kim is constantly getting dragged and embarrassed by the Beehive. Well, Kim recently opened up about her perspective on the beef, and it looks like Beyoncé is not the angel we thought she was. Well, according to Kim, at least, because she really did. Kim dirty, and you won't believe the shocking amount of money that Kim spent trying to please B, because she went from being a D-list celebrity that nobody in Hollywood wanted to be associated with to being one of the biggest celebrities in the industry. But even though Kim has done a lot for herself and her career, there is one thing that she never managed to achieve, and that's a close friendship with Beyoncé. It's no secret that Queen Bee simply cannot stand Kim, and there is a lot of proof to back this up. When Kim and Kanye started dating in 2012. People watched closely to see if Kim and Beyoncé were going to become fast friends, since both of their men were as close as brothers, and Kanye was equally as close to Beyoncé. In fact, Kanye's reaction to Beyoncé's pregnancy announcement back in 2011 still remains one of the cutest celebrity moments ever, but just because Beyoncé liked Kanye didn't mean that she was willing to extend the friendship to Kim. In fact, B made it more clear that she had no interest in being anything more than cordial with him. In 2016, a source spilled the tea to Page 6, saying Beyoncé has never genuinely liked him. She's mostly tolerated her because of their husband's friendship and their mutual friends. Like Jennifer Lopez, she is always a little icy to Camp the last time they hung out. The minute Beyoncé could leave the conversation, she did. They always have lots of awkward pauses when they speak. And according to sources, Kim knew that Beyoncé didn't like her. Well, it would have been hard for her to miss that, because Beyoncé didn't hide it back in 2012. Beat publicly embarrassed him when she snubbed a hug from the reality TV star. Jay-Z also caught the snub because he gave Kim a sympathetic pattern on the back. But the public embarrassment did not stop Kim from trying her best to make Beyoncé warm up to her. For example, when she first launched her KKW beauty brand, she sent over some products to Beyoncé for PR, but sources revealed that B just gave out the products without even opening them. But one thing about Kim is that she simply never gives up, and at this point she was obsessed with making her way into Beyoncé's inner circle by hook or crook. After Beyoncé ignored her previous gift, Kim sent Beyoncé more products, but this time she put them in a box made out of pure gold that had a market value of about $150,000, hoping that the expensive gift would make B want to reach out. But Beyoncé simply aired her once more that was not the last time that Kim tried to buy Beyoncé over with gifts, because when B gave birth to twin Sir and Rumi, Kim reportedly pulled out all the stops and sent Beyoncé $10,000 worth of baby clothes. But sources revealed that the clothes never even left the hospital with Beyoncé, because she gave them out to the hospital staff, because she didn't want to be associated with Kim at all. It was at this point that Kim started to reevaluate things, because she was starting to see how much Beyoncé was throwing her nice deeds back in her face. Also, she was still salty that Beyoncé had skipped her 2014 wedding to Kanye West. For those who don't remember how that went down, Jay-Z was supposed to be Kanye's best man during the wedding, because of how close they were, but at the last minute he and Beyoncé pulled out of the wedding, claiming they had a family emergency. But then, on the day of the wedding, Beyoncé posted a picture from a vacation in the Hamptons, making it clear that she just didn't want to attend the wedding and that the family emergency was just a flimsy excuse. It was revealed that the reason Beyoncé did not want to attend the wedding was that she didn't support the union in the first place. Also, she knew that there were going to be cameras at the wedding that were filming for Keeping Up with the Kardashians, and the last thing that Beyoncé they want, it was to appear on a reality TV show. But Kim was completely disappointed and humiliated, because she had been looking forward to having Beyoncé at her wedding, and had even been bragging to everyone that Beyoncé was going to be attending. She even went as far as engraving their names on marble at their wedding venue. But Beyoncé embarrassed her by not attending the wedding, and even though Kim tried to get over the situation and extend her friendship, she kept getting rejected and turned down by B, and after the issue with the baby clothes, Kim decided to stop playing nice, and this was where her silent feud with Beyoncé really started. It got even worse, because Beyoncé's cold attitude towards Kim was extended to Kim's kids, especially North. When North was born, everyone believed that she already had a built-in best friend in Blue Ivy because they were so close in age, but according to a source, North and Blue Ivy are similar ages, and Kim always hoped that they could be playmates, but Beyoncé had no intention of that happening and has always held both Kim and her daughter, at arm's length. So what did Kim do to get back at Beyoncé for the cold treatment? Well, she decided to steal Beyoncé's shine. Of course, one thing that we can all agree on when it comes to Kim is that she knows exactly how to get attention on her and get people talking about her. When Beyoncé released her Lemonade album, it immediately became the #1 trending topic on Twitter. But Kim decided that it was the perfect time for her to get her revenge on Beyoncé by stealing her shine, so she posted this intimate picture of her and Kanye that she knew for sure was going to get people talking about her, while her tactic mostly worked. It backfired after a while because the Beehive started cooking her in the comments for being sneaky and stealing Beyoncé. Someone said Kim literally not. Now we're all still talking about Lemonade. Another person commented, use an annoying beat. And this other person said, stop clogging my feed with your talentless self and picture of your in-depth. Husband, go educate yourself with some real talent. Ouch. The Beehive was really alpha blood that day. But that was not the end for Kim, because she was still determined to carry on the feud by trying to one-up Beyoncé whenever she could. In 2017, Beyoncé broke the internet when she announced that she was pregnant with twin Sir and Rumi, and the picture quickly became the most liked picture on Instagram at the time. Well, Kim was not having any of that, and luckily for her, she had the perfect way to try and overthrow Beyoncé because she was also expecting a baby. Not long after Beyoncé's announcement, she also announced that she was expecting a baby via surrogacy, and once again she stole Beyoncé's spotlight. Then for some reason, Kim decided that stealing the spotlight was not enough, and she started stealing Beyoncé's fashion looks. Kim's Roberto Cavalli's dress to the 2015 Met Gala was cute, but it was also an exact copy of Beyoncé's 2012 Givenchy dress to the man. Oh, but that's not. All because for a photo shoot for her skins brand, and Kim looks so much like Beyoncé that the Beehive called her out and dragged her for cosplay. And B leaving comments like Kim Kardashian's obsession with Beyoncé is beyond creepy. Now you can see her creepy smile every time she posts a B cosplay on her page. She gets a kick out of it. Even her whole IG layout went from boring to now trying to copy B's fun and colorful poses. Even though Kim was carrying on a not-so-secret feud with Beyoncé, Beyoncé still never paid any attention to her, and she never needed to because the Beehive was more than capable and willing to fight her battles for her, and they never let her down because they made sure to drag him every single time that she tried to outshine Beyoncé. But in 2021, Beyoncé finally decided to give Kim a crumb of attention when she gave Kim a birthday shout-out on her website, writing "Happy Birthday, Kim Kardashian." It was the barest minimum, but it was the first time that Beyoncé publicly acknowledged him, but according to sources, that tiny gesture meant a lot to Kim because she started to feel accepted by Beyoncé. The source also added that the validation also came at the right time because Kim was starting to grow as a person, and she realized that she's a boss herself and doesn't need Beyoncé's stamp of approval anymore because she is no longer an up-and-coming celebrity. She decided to let go of the beef, and even though she would still love to be friends with B, she has made peace with the fact that it might never happen, but she did get invited to Beyoncé's birthday party earlier this year. So it looks like there's still some hope left. Someone said, I don't think Beyoncé didn't like her. She just doesn't care for her. Another person said, I don't blame B. She don't want all that drama and confusion in her life or her children. And this other person commented, B has the right to choose her own associates. Kim needs to move on. And B's friendship is not necessary for anything. B can be downright rude in situations where better decorum is necessary. However, she, like anyone, and especially someone as well-known in private, has to be careful who she lets into her circle. So is the feud truly over? Or is Kim planning to reignite the feud in the future? We'll wait and see. But in the meantime, check out this next video.